Good morning, this is your wake-up call.
Hello friends, and welcome back to Now Awake Wisdom. And today I am going to be doing a second video on CERN. My first video was on the connection between Nostradamus quatrain and CERN, and I explained word for word that quatrain and connected it, and it fit exactly with what CERN's doing, the area, fit everything. You can go back in my videos and take a look at that video. But today, since the last video was on specifically Nostradamus and CERN, there was a lot of topics that I didn't get to touch on. So today I'm going to start with black holes in CERN. Now, a lot of people are worried that CERN is going to open a black hole. And, well, they are going to open a black hole. But black holes aren't what most people think they are. A lot of people think that black holes are something that crushes everything down into a tiny little ball. And if CERN creates a black hole, it's going to crush the whole world and our whole universe down into a tiny, tiny little ball. Well, that's not quite correct. If you go onto Google and you do a search black holes don't exist, you'll get lots of papers from lots of physicists that are explaining why black holes aren't what people think they are. Even Stephen Hawkins has a paper about how black holes aren't what people think they are. Now, they can't be because, first off, they break Einstein's laws of relativity and they break quantum mechanics. So, first off, you got to understand what black holes are. A black hole is a portal to a different dimension, okay? Now, CERN is opening portals to different dimensions. If you watched my last video, or any other number of videos that show the pictures that CERN themselves put out of the lasers, there are pictures of demons trying to come through the portals that they are making with their lasers. Now, that's just one part of the talk. Another part is the reason why physicists don't agree with CERN. Now, a lot of people say, well, because CERN's going to open a black hole and it's going to crush the world. Wrong. The reason why most physicists don't agree with CERN is because CERN, there's no reference to what they're doing. Nobody's ever done it before. They're using things they don't know about, and they're adding more and more power to it. So, it could be like, well, first off, they're rushing particles, crashing them together at close to the speed of light. They could accidentally stumble upon the next biggest nuclear bomb and blow off half of the Earth. Now, the first Hadron Collider, when it was at lower power, exploded, and they already proved this point. And now they're dealing with more and more power. And that's why most physicists don't agree with it, because they don't know what they're doing. There's no way to regulate it. There's no reference. So they could just stumble upon something that could destroy civilization. So let's take a look at a couple different things, different reasons why I think CERN is doing something that they're not telling us, and it's not a good thing. First off, you got the pictures of the demons coming through the portal. I already went over that. So the next thing is, the scientists are openly admitting that there are weird phenomenon going on during their experiments, and there are apparitions, ghosts that they can see there, that the scientists openly say there's apparitions in our experiments. So you got the demons, you got the scientists openly admitting as apparitions and weird things. And to add on top of that, right out in the front of the building is a statue to Shiva, the destroyer of worlds. Now, I don't know what that's trying to say, but that's really a messed up sign. People already think they're going to blow up half of the world, and then you got this statue outside of Shiva, the destroyer of worlds. So you got the apparitions, you got the demons in the photos, you got Shiva, the destroyer of the world. And take CERN itself, take a look at this logo, turn it upside down, and what do you got? 666, right in the logo. These are just a few topics that I'm touching on. Let me know what you think about these. Now, there's a couple other topics that I want to bring into light. The first time when CERN exploded, there was a major earthquake that happened that a lot of people think was in some way connected to the explosion at CERN. Now that they're up and running again at a higher power, in the last few weeks, Google San Francisco earthquakes. In the last few weeks, there has been over 400 earthquakes in San Francisco. And I think there was something like 100 and some in one day. Okay? Now, maybe that's just a coincidence, but the first time CERN exploded had an earthquake. Now we have 400 earthquakes in a couple weeks. I mean, when does that happen? It doesn't sound like something that should be happening to me. And if you take a little stroll away from San Francisco towards Wyoming, Wyoming has a huge crack that just opened up in the middle of Wyoming, and they say, well, this is normal. In the springtime it could happen, but in case you haven't noticed, this is now November. It's not the spring, so that makes it not very normal. Oh, and here's a couple more interesting facts I'd like to add. In case anybody didn't know, maybe you haven't researched this as much as I have, but CERN is not the only Hadron Collider in the world. There are many of them. I believe every country just about has their own Hadron Collider. And this is something you're definitely going to want to look into. China is building a large Hadron Collider 7 times the size of CERN. Now, that's a little bit scary, and it kind of makes me think that this can be used as a weapon, maybe, that they're not telling us about. Now, let me know what you think about these topics, and hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, give me your feedback, and I will be back soon. Peace.